Hi, my name is Ray Catull, and you may know me from the such projects as... You may also know me as the host of the internet's favorite harness handicapping show, North American Harness Update, which I host with these two guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Allums Jr. Every Friday from 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us talking harness, handicapping harness, and most importantly, having fun with harness. Can we please get this stuff out of my face? Thank you! North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 on SRN1. Also download Often Pacing and using promo code NAHU200K, start your stable with an additional 200,000 coins. You can also catch show archives and racing analysis over at our website, NAHUPicks.com! Oh.
When the lights come up and the curtains come down, that means one thing. It means it got the stage backwards. However, the NAHU crew still comes out and puts on a show for you. That didn't rhyme as well as I thought it would, but nonetheless, I am Ray Catull, host of the NAHU crew, bringing you another edition of the NAHU Extra, covering the late pick 4 from Running Aces Casino and Racetrack, $5,000 guaranteed pool for this Tuesday, June 12th. And a little thing, boys, the pick 4 has been doing so well pool-wise, starting next Sunday. Next Sunday being, the 10th, the 9th, the 16th, June 16th. Running Ace is going to up that guarantee to $7,500. But first things first, we got $5,000 on the line here in this 4-race sequence, starting with race 8 on Tuesday's card, again at Running Aces Casino and Racetrack. Opening leg of this sequence, now winners of 6 to 7, condition claiming pace. Rod Allums Jr., I almost got your names mixed up. Rod Prebosi, Mike Allums Jr. joining me to give insight on this sequence. And starting with this first leg, Mike, you got 6 horses lining up, if I'm not mistaken. 7 horses, pardon me. Pretty deep field, I think.
It's deep, but I for cost purposes, I kept it to 2, and I'm going to use the inside 2. The one, How to Train Your Dragon, has had a tough post. First 2 starts at Aces. Was racing pretty well at Cow Expo early May. Had a 4-length win there and a 51-1 mile. That's a huge race. And then, has been outposted. I don't mind the effort last time. Closed up nice in 28 flat to be 3rd. And this horse has 19 lifetime wins. I like the draw here. I think it's fast enough and probably should be closer early. And then the 2, Tornado Henry. This horse been racing in similar spots. 1-3 back. That was a nice win at this level. Then, has been racing towards the outside. That's a tough place to be here. Gets a driver change to Wiseman, who won with him. And, I feel like that driver change should help. The post should help. This horse is right there almost every week. So 1-2 to start.
Ooh, going light. Rod, you going to follow?
I'm only 2 deep as well. I'm using the 1, How to Train Your Dragon. Like Mike said, inside post. This horse fits well in here. Coming off a really good race. Just needs to stay close and should get a piece of this. And then I'm going to the middle of the gate, the 5 Swagosaurus Rex. I used last week. This horse raced really well. Made a big move down the backside, cleared by the 3/4 pole, and hung on to win. I expect a similar trip. Maybe should get some cover in this race. But he's been pretty sharp recently. He just needs to be close enough, and this is a decent spot, even with the jump in class. So 1-5 for me.
Rod, you're stealing my thunder, and I have to tell you to stop it before I file a cease and desist. The 1, How to Train Your Dragon, we all agree this horse is a contender, mostly for the change in post. It's at outside posts his last 2 starts, and the rail draw is going to make a tremendous difference for this horse, considering the form he's shown in his last 2. Also, look 2 back, he lost to a horse named Stevensville, who is one of the top pacers on the grounds here at the moment. And then Swagosaurus Rex, of course. My one concern with him is that he put in that big mile, which definitely is flattering to his form, but he is making a move up in class. So whether that's going to impact him or not, I'm not sure. Hopefully, if anything, it will make his price better, which will ultimately help us towards the end of this sequence. So I'm also going 1-5, and that brings us to the second leg of this pick 4. It's a claiming handicap, $4,000 to $6,000, $4,800 on the line. This time there's 6 horses. Now I usually throw it off to Mike, but Rod, you're taking a shot here, a shot in the dark, and I'm not saying that because we're recording this at 11 o'clock at night, but it's a shot in the dark nonetheless.
Yep, I'm hitting the all button here. I just didn't find enough horses to toss in this race. Really, my only toss in the race was the 3 Cosmos, but even him from an inside post, he makes sense to have on your ticket, especially with a drop in class. There's no opinion for me. I think you can make a case for anybody, and my top play is going to be the 6 Ramsey coming from Hoosier Park, claimed last time off of Gary Neefus. J.D. Yoder, first start, and he's hitting a high percentage recently too, so I think that's a good price play. So I'm just hitting the all button here. No opinion, really.
Now, Mike, you're usually an expert on the all button, so I have to ask you, is this an appropriate use of the all button?
Absolutely, because I'm doing the exact same thing. Imagine that. I have to say, I agree with Rod. There's too many variables here with these claiming horses. A lot of them, everyone's kind of meeting in the middle here, and there's some horses with excuses. The 1 is third back, and has faced much tougher, and draws better. The 2's been grinding it out, racing well. The 3 gets a drop. The 4 gets a slight drop and has raced okay. Came home 27-4, 2 back. The 5's a likely favorite after winning last time at this level. And then, like Rod said, the 6 is claimed from Hoosier and Broad here. So each one of those horses can have legitimate, excuses and to improve. And rather than use 4 out of 6, I will take them all.
Wow, you guys are forcing me to be the contrarian here. I'm 3 deep in this race. I think it's only down to 3 horses. The 2 Genuine Desire to start things off has been racing well here at Running Aces in his last 3 starts. On debut went first over. His last 2 has finished second against 3,000 claimers. The one difference this time around, he's moving up in classic into the claiming handicap ranks. However, he draws well, so I expect him to do well. The 4 Barbosa I was back and forth on. This horse has been racing well, usually against lower competition, but seemed to have just... I'm giving this horse an excuse for class because he just chased horses home last time to be 5th, but 2 starts back, put in a decent mile against hours of 850, finished second to Blue Star Maverick, who put in a really big mile against that group, so much so that I used him in the pick 4 last week, if that's important information. However, it's in my mind, and I remember it, and I remember this horse, as a result, being a contender here purely for class. But then the 5 Western Fortune, morning line favorite, pretty obvious just off of that, but has been bet down in his last 2 to favoritism, and last out left out for the lead after just coming from off the pace in previous starts. He crawled home doing that, but he still won. I'm curious what tactics they'll use with him this week, because the front doesn't seem to be his style, but he could definitely be caught if he tries to wire the field. But that said, I think the 2 and the 4 are the only horses that could possibly catch him. So I'm 2, 4, 5 in this second leg, hoping that I made any semblance of sense in discussing that. So we move on to the third leg of this pick 4. Now winners of 3 to 4 for a purse of $7,000. This time we're gathering 8 horses on the gate. And Mike, of those 8, who would you not like to date? Who do you like?
3 deep. Starting with the 3 Guns and Money. Liked this one last time and really didn't, get the easiest trip. And ran into Buzz Light, Contemporary Legend. Those horses are extremely sharp, and we're going to see them later. But I feel like this horse draws well again, and has a puncher's chance in the race if he's put into the race earlier. Gets a driver change too to Dean McGee, so I don't mind that. The 4, one small favor, crushed a race from way back last time and was bet. Now steps up, has some back class. If you look back at those Fraser lines, those are stakes races up there. Those races are difficult. Those guys drive crazy up there, and those races are always very competitive. I don't mind those lines. I think that this horse can certainly step up and improve. And then the 5, Bunker Hill Jill. This horse is another one that comes off a win and onwards at 2 and 3 at 3 to 5. Prior to that, raced well at Aces. This horse doesn't really get away well, but puts together some big rallies and fast times, and it pretty much is impossible to leave off that last race, kicking home 27-2. So 3, 4, and 5.
Rod, I understand you got the shades on, but I still know you got your eyes on some horses.
Yeah, I'm 3 deep as well. I'm going to start with the 4, one small favor. Raced really big coming off that layoff there, and I think needs to be played once again. This is a different type of race here, but I think with the decent draw, this horse will be drug into the race and should be put in play. The 5, Bunker Hill Jill. This is another one. It's kind of pace dependent, but definitely plays well, can get home with anything in here, and comes off a really nice win last time. And then I'm going to go outside to the 8 Yankee time. Another one, he's probably going to be a little bit pace dependent, but last time 3 starts back he drew outside and he kind of floated off the gate, got a good spot and finished second, and he's been in really good form as well. So if he can work out a trip from this outside post, I think he's a nice price play to have on the ticket. 4, 5, 8 for me.
You guys like being this close to my face? Probably not. I'm 3 deep in this. I'm the only one that takes the 2 Pride of the Sierras to start things off, mostly because last out this horse left for the lead after not really showing much pace otherwise against Nauers at 2 to 3. Although we faltered and finished 5th in that race, that's still a move that's worth noticing, because it could be a sign this horse is moving into a different direction, and that direction is mostly forward. Draws better this time too, because he had post 6 last time when he left for the lead. Now he has post 2 this time around, so this horse could potentially be a factor and dismissed at a decent price. We all agree about Bunker Hill Jill. I feel this horse is more pace dependent than anything, unless she's able to kick home as strongly as she did last week. It's hard to tell if she just had a setup or if she's just in good form. Nonetheless, she's a favorite. Not much else to say about that. She's pretty obvious. And then the 8 Yankee time, I agree with Rod on this one. I feel like he's going to be able to get off the gate somewhat decently. The one issue is just he has to avoid not going first over, because last time he tried to go first over, as we see in that line, he ended up finishing 3rd. So that's probably not his best trip. He may do well coming from 2nd over, but he also doesn't really have much of a late kick either. He's going to be a horse that definitely does just need something to happen for him in order to win. But from an outside post, with the potential of that setup occurring, he may end up being great value for this ticket. So I'm 2, 5, and 8 in this 3rd leg. Final leg of the sequence, then race number 11. It's the final leg because it's the 4th of 4. It's a pick 4. What do you expect? Now winners at 3 to 4 again. These are pacers going for $7,000. 8 horses lining up. I'm confident on one horse, but I'm going to start it off with you guys. Mike, I'm pretty sure you're too deep.
Too deep. The 2 Contemporary Legend. It's been the last 2 starts here at Aces have been very good. Was excellent from the post. 2 moved to win there at 9 to 1, and then last week really stuck in the 8 hole. Wasn't moved to extremely late in the mile. Was flying late to just miss to Buzz Light, and draws much better here. I would think which should be in the mix early like he was 2 back. This horse is going to be extremely difficult to beat the way he's been racing. But I'm going to try the 4 because I'm happy. This horse raced in that same race last time. 2 back, was a winner. The numbers at 2-3 at 1 to 9. Last time was kind of stuck in a bad spot, and then just wasn't quite moving. When Contemporary Legend ended up winning, that was two starts ago for that one. So, but this horse I thought raced well in the slop that night. Draws well, should be up again early, and really I think the only threat to the 2. So 2 and 4.
Rod, those numbers sound very familiar to you, I bet.
One of them does. The 2. I'm throwing this one on. I got nothing else to add from what Mike said. Raced very well last time. Then I'm going to go toward the outside, the 6 Buzz Light, who beat the 2 last time. This horse is in good form. Other than that break 2 back where he was probably going to win that race, this horse definitely plays and is going to take some money, and deservingly so. So I think you have to have this one on the ticket. And then I'm going even farther outside to a long shot, the 8 General Time. This one didn't finish well last time, but it's second start for Jesse Pacheco. Maybe they've got this one figured out. And I think if this horse is put in play again, you're going to see a much better effort. And that was against a couple of tough ones that just kind of dropped to the bottom level for that one start there. And, this horse plays against this type of field, and I think you need to use this horse. If you're looking for a long shot to beef up your ticket, if you think maybe the chalk going to win a second leg, this is the long shot to use. So 2, 6, 8.
I'm going to be the little confidant that I am and be very confident in my singling of the 2 Contemporary Legend in this race. Although Buzz Light has been racing well, the one thing worth noting is Buzz Light had the rail last time when he beat Contemporary Legend. And Contemporary Legend, I admit, put in a much better race than I was expecting from post 8 than I was expecting. That sentence works out. Now he draws better than Buzz Light. That's the part I wanted to emphasize here. And if Buzz Light is sent the favorite and not this horse, first things first, on the morning line, that's going to make this pick 4 better because this horse is 7-2 on the morning line, while Buzz Light's the morning line favorite. So that's working with us. But we also inevitably have the fact that he's probably not going to take as much play as Buzz Light, even though he shows the better form, he shows the better miles, and he has a better post. I feel like those are the factors enough that make him the sole contender in this race, therefore justifying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, my single of this horse in the last leg of the pick 4, which then makes my ticket go as follows. For 50 cents, I'm 1-5 with 2-4-5. With 2-5-8 with 2. My numbers are down here, and they cost $9 for 50 cents. Mike, your ticket.
1-2 with all, with 3-4-5, with 2-4, it's 36 for 50 cents.
And Rod.
1-5 with all, with 4-5-8, with 2-6-8, it's $54 for 50 cents.
And that says that does it. I don't like that being our song. I'll have to come up with a different song to cue us out, but that does it. For this edition of the North American Harness Update Extra, covering the $5,000 guaranteed pick 4 from Running Aces Casino and Racetrack for Tuesday, June 12th. You can find these tickets up on our website, NAHUpicks.com, along with analysis for the entire race card Tuesday at Running Aces, as well as analysis every race day from Woodbine Mohawk Park and the Meadowlands Racetrack. I want to remind you, the guarantee is $5,000 this week for this pick 4. On Sunday, June 16th, they're bumping it up to $7,500. You're not going to want to miss that. We're going to be covering that on our show, North American Harness Update, which airs Fridays from 9 p.m. Eastern on 148.ca/1 or on this YouTube channel or Facebook stream, wherever you're watching this. You will be able to find it, and we are going to discuss that sequence. But until then, guys, I have seen many things. I have not seen a thing like this before.